PS5 games will not support the Dualshock 4. That's the gaming controversy of today. Now, it's not a surprise, to be honest. Sony don't tend to do this per generation. However, the layout of the DualSense controller that comes with the PS5 looks pretty much identical to the DualShock 4. It still has two sticks, it still has the shoulder buttons, it still has square, triangle, circle, X and a D-pad. It's pretty much the same thing. The main difference with the controller in terms of an actual mechanic used to play a game was demonstrated at Jeff Keighley's hands-on, where he kind of blew into the controller. That sounds really weird. Yeah, he gently blew into the controller about here. And that allowed him to propel Astrobot on a little block of ice forward in a river scenario. Unless every PlayStation 5 game has a feature where you can blow into it, the button layout and whatnot is pretty much identical. Like, really on paper, there is no reason why the DualShock 4 shouldn't work on the PS5 games. Some people will say, hey, PlayStation 5 exclusive games will use certain features like the rumble features, haptic feedback. And granted, yeah, haptic feedback is a thing, but I would be surprised if a game's mechanic was based on haptic feedback. Controllers have had it in the past. It's not so much a game mechanic, it's just more so a gameplay enhancer. Ultimately, this decision comes down to one thing, which is unsurprising and it's as expected. It comes down to money. PlayStation want you to obviously buy DualSense controllers. PlayStation believe in generational changes and they want that to be a thing with the controllers as well. And even though PlayStation 5 exclusive games might use something in the controller that makes it just a DualSense game, I guarantee the likes of FIFA or Call of Duty will. FIFA on the PlayStation 4 will most definitely play like FIFA on the PlayStation 5, which means the DualShock 4 controller should also work as normal. But I just think it just kind of sucks, really. It's an anti-consumer move. And that's what we've come to. We've come to people on the internet arguing, why don't you just have the new controller versus why can't I use my old controller? And I get it, if you play single player games and you just play on the PlayStation 5 by yourself, you don't have people who you come around and play the game, you don't have siblings who want to co-op with you. I get it. You'll get the PS5, you'll get the new controller, and that'll be your controller. You're set. But if you are a parent with more than one child, if you are a sibling who wants to play with another sibling, if you're in a relationship and you want to play with your partner, the only way you can do that on the PS5 now, for PS5 games, is to buy another controller. And that is it. That is where the river ends, really, in this discussion. So yeah, if you're buying a PlayStation 5, ultimately you'll have a controller to play PS5 games on. You won't be stuck there. This announcement only kind of hinders the people who play co-op and play locally and have siblings who want to play with each other. And yeah, if you're telling me a FIFA 21 on the PS5 is going to have some new feature for the controller that makes the DualShock 4 redundant on it, then I'd say you're reaching quite far. It should work. It should work.